Hello, book lovers, and thanks for listening. I post new chapters every week. If you like my work, please remember to like and subscribe to help me build my channel. The Stillwater Girls by Minka Kent. Narrated by Jennifer Schafer. Chapter 29. Wren. Nicolette wrings her hands as she stares toward the front door. Glancing out the windows that frame the entrance, I spot the outline of a dark figure pulling something behind them. The sun went down hours ago, so it's hard to make out any details. But for a fraction of a second, my muscles seize, convinced it's the stranger coming back for us. Brent's home, Nicolette says, but I don't believe the excitement in her tone because her eyes winced and she hasn't moved an inch. The door swings open a second later and a man comes into view. He looks exactly like his photos, maybe better. Sandy blonde hair with a slight wave, a square jawline with full blush-colored lips, and piercing yet soft green eyes, just like Evie's. He's tall, but not nearly as tall as the stranger who broke into our cabin, and even with his black woolen jacket, I can tell he's strong, but not in a monstrous sort of way. Nothing about him seems threatening, and his smile seals the deal. Still, I keep myself at a safe distance. I don't know him, but I want to like him because I want to stay here. I like it here. Everything's warm and soft and pretty and nice and safe. You must be Wren? Brant asks, releasing the handle of his bag. Shrugging out of his jacket, he folds it over his arm. He doesn't come toward me, doesn't extend his hand toward me like the sales associate did at the boutique. He keeps back. Brent, nice to meet you. Sage appears behind Nicolette, her dark eyes studying the handsome husband of the gracious woman who took us in. And you must be Sage? He asks. He has dimples, like Evie. You have a good trip? Nicolette asks as he steps toward her. Brant places one hand on her arm and leans in, kissing her cheek. Her body tenses as he touches her. Good but long, he says. Just wanted to get home. I've missed you. He pulls away and their eyes meet, holding like they're having a conversation without so much as saying a single word. Should I make some tea? Nicolette asks, her question directed to us. Maybe we could chat for a little while before you girls head to bed. Sage yawns and I catch one myself. Nicolette turns to her husband. It is a little late for them. Maybe they can get to know you better in the morning. Of course, he says, eyes smiling as he gazes at me. Then to my sister. It's a date. Slipping my hand in Sage's, I lead her upstairs to our room, and then I close the door. She peels out of her clothes and into a pair of pinstripe pajamas Nicolette bought her at the boutique yesterday, and then she crawls into her side of the bed. I'm not tired, but I don't want to be down there with them, marinating in attention so thick I could slice it with a butter knife. He seems nice, Sage says, rolling away and keeping her back to me as I change. Yeah. They make a lovely couple, like a prince and princess. I tug my shirt over my head and fold it neatly on the dresser before slipping out of my skirt. They do, I say. A moment later, my sister's breathing is softened and steadied. Reaching for the book on my night table, I pad toward the window seat and draw the curtain until I have enough moonlight to read the words on the pages. 10 chapters later, I'm reading the author's biography, and while my body is heavy and leaden, my mind is whizzing and whirring. I couldn't shut it off if I tried. Drawing in a deep breath, I place the finished book aside and tiptoe across the room, quietly twisting the doorknob and ambling downstairs to grab my sketch pad from the kitchen table where I left it earlier today. I was trying to draw the woods, at least the woods the way the Gideons see them. Needled pines mixed with bare stalks of trees, wild turkeys, the occasional deer. It's like looking at my home but from a stranger's perspective. Everything's the same, and yet everything's different. I'll make it downstairs and find my charcoal pencil and sketchbook right where I left them. Heading back to my room, I stop when I reach the top of the stairs and hear Nicolette and her husband's rushed, muffled voices. "Why are you acting like this?" she asks. "I'm worried this is going to make things worse," he says. "For you." It feels wrong to eavesdrop, so I creep back to my room and shut the door, heart pulsing in my ears and tiny quick breaths escaping my lungs. I knew there was something going on between them. I saw it in her eyes. In his, too. My stomach is clenched, knotted tight. Her husband doesn't want us here. I haven't the slightest idea where we would go from here. Without Nicolette's charity, who knows what would become of us? Maybe if I'm nicer to him, he won't feel this way, and that could buy us more time to find Mama and Evie. Giving myself a moment to settle down, I crawl into the window seat once more and draw my knees up, resting the sketch pad on top of my thighs. A moment later, I drag my pencil against the cream-colored paper. Drawing has always calmed me, much like the way reading does. Closing my eyes for a second, I picture the lady with the curly yellow hair and the gapped smile. I've never drawn her before because I never wanted to upset Mama, but tonight I'm going to. I'm going to bring her to life right here on this paper. Painted in moonlight, I sketch the outline of her face first, round like mine, and then her nose, small and button-like. I give her a wide smile and pale, bushy curls that frame her face. Every time I close my eyes to picture another one of her details, there's a weight on my chest, a fullness, and a tangle that spreads all the way to my toes. I don't know what it means, but I can't help feeling as though I know her. End of chapter 29.